Welcome back. So in this video we're going to be talking about when we try to let the spirit world do everything for us during the communication and the problems that you will find when you say that you do that. So the idea, I released a video not so long ago about asking questions and the right time to ask questions, and I took a whole lot of flack for saying I ask the spirit world questions. People say you shouldn't ask, you shouldn't be dictating, you shouldn't be doing, and there'll always be that argument of it. And so here's my take on that: why we need the ability to be able to ask questions at the right time to bring a fuller communication. Now, the idea of communication is that when the spirit world turn up and I switch my mind to them and I try to blend with that communicator, the ideal scenario there is for me to go, what's your story? And them go, well, Charlie, here it is. And away they go. And the story will unfold. Now, the story unfolds much more naturally and much easier if I understand what it is that they're doing. Not that I'm trying to understand, but because I have a reference base within my mind, because I'm the instrument, there will be easy access points for them to use. So let's say they're very much like my nan. You know, I have an older lady here, she passes in the same kind of way, and, you know, she loved the family round and she loved cooking and baking and seeing to us all. She was a nice family lady, very simple for my mind to hold that information and deliver that information because I have an experience or an understanding, because my nan was very much the same way. So at that point, there's not really too much questioning I need to do, because I'm asking them, what's your story? And their story can unfold in the best of my ability or in the best of your ability. The problems we are going to have is when you have something that you have no idea about. And so I run classes on a very, very regular basis in workshop format, usually. Current scenario, not so free to be able to do that, or online teaching. And so most of you know on the channel, I have an 18-year-old sister in the spirit world. And very, very rarely does she come through. Very, very rarely does a medium find my sister, because the safety of their mind is finding my nan or my granddad, that no one is looking for an 18-year-old girl in the spirit world. On the rare occasion that she does come through, when a medium is brave enough to say, I have a young lady here, she's 18 years old, and they start to unfold her story, not once is her story being unfolded in the way that I imagine that she would unfold her story. She is talking about a passing condition, which I never want to talk about, because that day, to this day, still haunts me. It's something that I never want to go through, see, or anybody else to go through again. Yet most mediums will start with the passing, maybe a bit of a personality, and everything that unfolds with that goes there. However, the things I want to talk about are the do you remember when we did this, or do you remember when you did that and I got in trouble, or do you remember when I did this and you got in trouble, and all of that kind of stuff is yet to happen. So when mediums tell me, no, I follow exactly what the spirit world are telling me to do, I do exactly what they want, I do not ask questions, that's an absolute no-no, you're wrong. Because that does not happen in the readings that I have received or I have seen being given. There is a format or a protocol that is being followed, whether that be their passing condition, their age, their relationship, and all that kind of stuff. In effect, is a question. You are asking a question. So that is where the problem is immediate from the communication unfolding naturally. The video I took a tremendous amount of grief for not asking questions is, and here's another example, is that sometimes we will not know what it is that they want to talk about. I love carp fishing. If you have no idea about carp fishing, if I was a communicator, there would be no reference point for you to use. That conversation would fall short, or it would fall of information, or it would be packed throughout from start to finish with huge pauses, giving no ebb and flow. So in that process, you would maybe spark small talk, ask the right question for me to unfold my answers. If my friend was sitting there as your client and I'm in the spirit world, and the only time we spent together was around a lake or around a river, and all we did was cartfish, and then they went about their life and I went about my life, that reading is going to fail on many, many levels. So asking the right questions at the right time is going to make that reading a little bit fuller. Is it what I wanted to say? Absolutely not. But I'm still getting my point across or my evidence across so my friend would understand what it is that you're trying to deliver. Now, I have friends in the spirit world that wasn't the nicest of people. Some of you have seen the backstory, and so they've got colourful backgrounds. I've got people that would have sold drugs locally. I've got people that were murdered at very, very traumatic passings. If you are unfamiliar or you are not comfortable with that kind of thing happening within mediumship, that's going to be very difficult to unfold in the form of their story or their communication. So we are going to constantly hit brick walls or dips or pauses within communication if we try to let the spirit world do it all. And this was my point. This is what I was trying to get across. If you have no reference base, let's use my sister as the example, you are going to constantly bring forward a young lady. You're going to talk about her passing condition, and you may talk about her personality. When actually what I want to remember is the memories, the times, the nothings, you know, the silly conversations that we would have had, the silly things that we would have done, all of which are not part of your format, all of which are not part of your protocols. To some people, it may sound generic. To some people, it may be not enough. There's no evidence there. That would be subjective. But the communication that I would want from her would tick all of those boxes. So there is a process, a protocol, a format that we go through. And what I was suggesting is that if you are better at asking the right questions, maybe it will lead you onto a better story, a better unfoldment of communication. So I may link the video up in the top corner if I can remember how to do that for the video that I took with asking questions at the right time. But these are some of the pitfalls, and there are going to be millions of pitfalls if we just let the spirit world do it. If you are knocking on the spirit world door and you are just waiting, and the spirit world are there and you have no reference base within your mind, the communication is unable to start. You will fall into the trap of description. You will fall into the trap of generics. You will fall into the trap of the same kind of reading that you do. Mediumship will become one-dimensional for you if you are just knocking on the door and waiting. Honestly, the fuller your communication can be will be because the opening of your mind. Give it a reference base, ask the right questions, and their story will unfold to the best that your mind can handle, the best that your consciousness can handle, the best your presentation can handle. And that's where we can always look to develop. So I know that's going to upset a load of you, but you know, it is what it is. But be mindful. If you are unwilling to ask, if you are unwilling to try to expand your mind or expand your communication skills, your mediumship is going to become flat, one-dimensional, and then you'll just be like everyone else. Mediumship is unique. It's unique to every single person. You are unique. You have a unique mind. You have a unique relationship with the spirit world. Show people that uniqueness, and your mediumship will change instantly. If you like the video, like it. I'm sure many of you won't. Get in the comments, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll catch you lot in the next video.